Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai, and today I'm going to be reacting to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 8. I have really exciting things about this one, so I'm really looking forward to it. So, yeah, last episode we had our little group get split up. So, Hakari and Panda are going for Angel. Yuji and Fushiguro went to one of the colonies, the Tokyo colony, to go and look for Higuruma. There, each of them found a person to guide them where they're, you know, where Higuruma is. But, well, I don't think either of them is telling the truth. At the very least, not the girl. But yeah, we're still gonna get Higuruma this episode though. I saw that in the preview, so I'm gonna stop watching them. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Not really much, really. So let's get to it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, opening. I saw. I saw. Honestly, I forgot where Kirara went. That's why I didn't mention her. But surely it'll come up again. Eyes on open. Help me, help me. Help me. I saw, I saw. I saw, I saw. That might be like actually true to real life. I feel like I've heard something like that. I really like the directing right now. Okay. I did not expect something like this, but I'm invested. Hmm. I like Higuruma. It doesn't seem like he picks the cases just to get it done, but because he's actually believing in the justice. Yeah, it does seem like a noble endeavor. Whoa. She said it's not worth it, but to him it seems like it is. Hmm. He's too deep in his mission that he doesn't think about himself, huh? Whoa. How? Uh, oh, that's big. Just for trying this hard? Uh, yeah, not many would. Shit. Wow. Uh, he did all he could, but he's still being seen as the one who is to blame. Whoa. Oh, he's so good already. What the hell? We're just changing where we left off. Not changing, like transitioning. Yo, that whole section of the episode was amazing. Let's go. I mean, so did Yuji. Hmm? Hmm? Okay, it's a trap of some sort. And he's doing this out of survival. Yeah, that line was in the preview. Oh, there's Higuruma. Oh, he's actually here. Yeah. What is he doing? Yo, the presentation. Hmm. Oh, yeah? I see. Hmm. Surely. Though it does seem like he's stopped caring about a lot of things that he used to before. What's the reason? $60. Hmm. Oh. Yeah. Oh, this shot. Oh boy. We're resulting to fighting already. Oh, he has domain expansion. Yo, it's so cool looking. Oh, literally? I thought it was maybe a metaphor. But it's gonna be a literal bomb. Huh. Yo. I think this is my favorite episode of the season so far. Gosh. There's so much. I want to talk about Higuruma. But, he's so interesting. Oh, man. もし僕が砕かれて引き裂かれて何のとの何も怖くないなっとどくなとだからさ願いにはずっとそれなすっと乗り出してくれよもう何も欲しくないただいいから向かうのさ No preview. No. Okay. So, yeah, like, I was so enthralled and I wanted to absorb as much as possible from, like, that whole first half of the episode. I barely talked. And even when I, like, the first time I got to talking, I'm pretty sure I missed something important. So let me go back. Okay, here. When, I'm actually not sure what the girl, was to him. Like, I've heard the term for what she could be, but like, illegal something, like always shadowing him and like taking notes and having all of his case files in order. I think that's what she would be. But yeah, she's at the cafe and says, oh no, it's the other woman. But when you say he hasn't changed, you mean Higuruma-san's always been like this? No. I think he actually used to be worse. Huh? Back when he was with us, he was in charge of a case of reckless driving resulting in injury. A drunk driving one. The defendant was 19, and his co-workers had coerced him into both the drinking and the driving. However, those involved all aligned their stories, and he wasn't able to prepare money for a settlement, nor were we able to get him a suspended sentence. I see. And this one we got the liar scene. Yeah, you told him you'd managed to get a suspended sentence though, not an innocent verdict. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess the reason she said worse is because here, well, he was clearly guilty, but still Higuruma still tried to make his sentence lighter. He was still a teenager. And plus, it didn't result in a death, but an injury. But yeah, so Higuruma was someone who, I mean, from the very first thing in the episode, you know, like already in Japan, 99.9% of criminal trials end in a guilty verdict. And Higuruma, by being a defense attorney, is already trying to climb a very steep mountain. And yet he, despite how many cases I imagine that he's lost, he still tried time and time again to help out people who are at their end of the rope, both mentally and financially. But no matter, you know, how much good evidence he gathered or how great his arguments were in court, the way that the legal system is structured didn't really make it any easy for him. And, you know, even with him doing that, his clients at the end still blame him for what happened. Like what we saw with that guy, that he was being blamed for I think it was a double murder. He was grateful, you know, after the first trial. But once Higuruma just couldn't succeed against the just the whole thing basically being rigged. His client just couldn't see anymore that it just, you know, what happened, it wasn't Higuruma's fault. And yet, he still kept trying and trying, doing it, the way that, doing it by the book, basically. And even then, he says, I can't blame them for lashing out at me. But what about your mental state? And he can't really answer. He's just like, we don't get to see him finish that. But yeah, he definitely was not thinking about himself at all. And it was most definitely taking a toll on him. Like, yeah, I feel bad for Higuruma and his clients too, even if they were putting the blame on the wrong person. It's not on Higuruma, it's on the system. I like the way he phrases this though. It's just always gone against my nature. To leave things alone when I feel like they're wrong. Like, oh, I love him so much for that. And actually, I think he's similar to Yuji in that regard. As we see later with the Yuji middle school flashback. I've just never managed to fix that habit. Habit. Fix, he says. Implying that there's something wrong with it, which I don't think there is. I just think that his ideals are not something that he needed to fix. He wasn't the problem. It was just him trying to play fair on an unfair system. And it was leading him nowhere. But it wasn't his fault. Though something that he could fix is just drowning himself in work and getting some rest for once. Which is why with the calling games, he is getting, a type of rest. No longer chained by the proper procedures of, the old world, I guess. The goddess of justice blinds her sight to maintain fairness under the law. And people turn a blind eye to all kinds of things to protect themselves. Yeah, what's the saying? Ignorance is bliss. But I don't want to brush away the hands clinging to me for help. So I want to keep my eyes open at least. He might not always be able to keep holding on to those hands, but at the very least, he won't close his eyes to them. I love that. Oh man. I am getting very quickly attached to him. Like, I knew he was popular, but yeah, I totally get why. Oh man, and right after that, we see him get his jujutsu technique. And that's him basically throwing away all the rules that he's um, adhered to all this time and just saying, screw it. You know, I haven't really been able to save many people by doing this. So now you're gonna listen to me. And honestly, I'm with it. I am definitely for his cause. Though, you know, he's definitely, at least when Yuji finds him, going from one end to another. And, well, I feel like he's too relaxed now. Let's put it that way. The blonde guy that's with Yuji. I think we got a name? But I do like the insight we got on him. Basically, just, you know, staying with bad people or just people who hurt others because, well, you know, it's self-preservation. I'm not gonna put myself at risk just to help someone else. And then we see the contrast with Yuji, who, yeah, he definitely has the strength to back up the desire to help others, but I I believe that Yuji would have done the same even if he couldn't. That's just who he is. Ah, that's his name. Green Amai. And I do like that we see him actually regret and feel guilty about leading Yuji to Higuruma. Because, well, I don't know, like, if Higuruma asked him to do that, but let's say he did, then this is basically like a repeat on a very, maybe not bigger scale, but like higher stakes of what he used to do in middle school. Just letting others be hurt just to save his own skin. But hey, maybe there is potential for him to change. Who knows? But there's gotta be a reason why we saw him agonizing over it after Yuji entered the theater. The guy that was talking with Fushiguro, I liked his exposition, but like that's pretty much it. But yeah, Higuruma saying so many things have stopped mattering lately. So I've been challenging myself to try things I assumed I shouldn't do. Like, I feel like there's like both and good in that statement. Because it's like, yeah, you know, he probably thought before that he didn't deserve to just get a moment to himself and relax. He always had to be out there trying to do something to help someone by being a lawyer. But it could also be like, oh, you know, things like killing people. So, you know. I basically gone off the rail after hitting my mid 30s. That's so real. I get that. I mean, I haven't hit my 30s. I'm 2 years away. Oh, less than 2 years, but let's just say relatable. Just even the way that he jokes when he's like, talking to me will incur a consultation fee of 5,000 yen every half hour. And he's just like, I'm kidding. I just want to try acting like a nasty lawyer for once. And we know for sure that he is joking. Because he wasn't a nasty lawyer in the past. But yeah, it really does feel like he's just like, man. Like, what's the point right now? Just going out of my way to do the right thing by following what everyone else thinks is the moral, proper way. I've done that my whole life. It hasn't really gotten me much. So let's just do whatever right now. You know, like, what? Sorcery is real? Sure, why not? Yeah, when Yuju was like, oh, okay, he's a modern sorcerer whose technique was activated. We can talk it out. And, well, we know how the episode ends. But yeah, and then we get Higuruma being like, I just sense potential in the calling game. Sometimes the law is powerless. But what about the rules in this calling game? If the power I've been granted is real, then those rules must be too. Oh yeah, then we get like the number of people that Higuruma and Kashimo must have already killed. Uh, and that there's at least one of their caliber in each colony. And just the reasoning behind why you get teleported from the sky. It's, you know, literally from the moment you enter, you get cold if you aren't a strong sorcerer. What if people who broke the rules were punished by physics, without any need for indictments, prosecutions, or arguments at trials? Like, that's a dangerous line of thinking. But, you know, we have the context of why he thinks this way. So it's like, like, oh, that's, you know, that's understandable. It'd be like one thing if like a regular person said that, you know, someone who's never really doesn't know how those things work. But Higuruma most certainly knows. And he was screwed over by those time and time again, alongside his clients. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'll acknowledge there are issues with the current rules, but I want to watch over the system serving as a basis for this game. So he just wants to be an observer. And, like, see it as a, maybe not a comparison point, although maybe, but more so as a, what's the word? Let's say as a, measuring of sorts. You know, if the rules work out in benefit for the players, then, you know, this Jujutsu thing might be better than the law over here. And he's specifically interested in rules 2 and 8 because of the be stripped of their technique part. Yuji says that if we take too long, every person in this nation will die. And Higuruma says that's a lie. The calling game insists on its own permanence. By that, I'm guessing he means like it is more beneficial for the calling game itself to go on for as long as it's possible. There's no benefit to rushing it, but that's just Higuruma's own view on it. And Yuji doesn't really get that, so we kind of reach a stalemate there. And that's when Yuji says, you know, I'm not negotiating with you anymore. You either let me use your 100 points, or I am doing it by force. And Higuruma just replies with, have you ever killed someone who ticked you off? It feels much better than I expected. Like, that's not what you want to hear. Like, I'm just curious about how Higuruma reacted after his first kill. It just seems like it came very easy to him. Like, I know he was very fed up with everything, even if he tried not to let it show. But clearly he had just, you know, a point of where he just had enough, and that was reached. Also, yeah, I really like the lighting here. All the colors. As if Higuruma and Yuji are like two actors on a stage. But who is the director of this play? Kenjaku must be. Oh, yo, I didn't notice that at first, but clearly Higuruma's domain expansion is like him being the judge and Yuji being a just someone being, let's say, uh, being suspected as guilty in a trial. And then all the guillotines all around them. That's very cool for Higuruma's just whole person. That's a lot of what his character revolves around. And it showcases how he's changed since he got his curse technique. Yeah, there's so much to Higuruma here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to really understand him fully just with this one episode, but man, I really wanted to try and analyzing him. Yeah, but yeah, he's free now of rules telling him, you know, what's how someone is deemed guilty or innocent. He's gonna be like, no, I'm the judge, jury, and executioner. So we'll see how his fight with Yuji changes this current mindset, if at all. So yeah, this is gonna be it for this one. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.